Taxis in San Francisco. Last night, a fire truck hit a cruise vehicle with a passenger inside.
We're waiting for police to determine who was at fault here. In the meantime, that passenger, Larry, asked to go to the hospital last night. We don't know the person's condition. We
need to talk. AI has been taking the world by storm for the past couple months, especially with the introduction of ChatGPT. But what has not been as new as ChatGPT are these autonomous vehicles. We've seen it in Tesla where you have these self-driving features where you can go hands-free and let the car just drive you around. But what happens when there's not a person behind the wheel like Tesla, when you're just a robot car taking you anywhere you want to go?
But hundreds of cars have no one in the front seat as they make deliveries and shuttle passengers.
San Francisco right now, there are these vehicles called cruise vehicles, as well as some Google vehicles that are there, but they're robo taxis. They've just been expanded to increase over the San Francisco area. And, you know, everybody thinks that this is going to be a very cool thing, and this is going to be the thing of the future, where you can get to point A to point B in no time without having the use of a driver or the need for humans to be there in person, without them being able to get sleepy or tired or be drunk driving or whatever things that happen in their personal life. You can just have a driver on demand. What happens if that autonomous vehicle doesn't know all the street rules or all the nuances about the streets, where let's say you're in the intersection and the lights are green? There may be a car that's rushing past afterwards trying to make it through traffic. Does the car know how to stop then? What happens when there's on a busy intersection and there's a lane closure? What happens then? Does the vehicle know that you can maneuver around the lane closure? Well, lately, since the San Francisco area autonomous vehicles have been expanded, there's been some issues with some of these vehicles. Recently, these vehicles have been having issues with detecting different hazards. One notably was when the autonomous vehicle company Cruise had one of their vehicles drive right into wet cement and get stuck, of course.
A Cruise driverless car in San Francisco drove into a marked construction zone and got stuck in wet concrete. Cruise will cover the repaving costs. This incident followed California's approval of expanded driverless taxi services. No injuries occurred, but city officials remain concerned about self-driving vehicles.
And that's not too bad, but what happens if there's more severe accidents? Another incident happened when there's a vehicle where the cruise vehicle went into the intersection and a charger sped and hit the car on the side, crashing into it. Now, they said that this wasn't the autonomous vehicle's fault. You can even see it in this clip here, where the person was speeding and going well over the speed limit. Even the officer said that this person was speeding and was probably the cause of the car accident. But let's just imagine that you're on your way to the hospital or some accident and you call the cops because something happened to you. And on the way there's a vehicle on the way that ends up impeding. That's actually what just happened here in San Francisco, where an emergency vehicle was on the way to an incident scene, and this cruise vehicle, sped out in front of it and got hit on the side. Now, they say that any vehicle, autonomous or not, are not supposed to be able to impede emergency vehicles, or they're supposed to be able to yield. But in this case, it didn't. It said over the past weeks, months, that they've been testing out these autonomous vehicles, that there's been over hundreds of crashes that's been reported, not just in the cruise vehicles, but Google vehicles and autonomous vehicles as well. And it begs the question of whether these vehicles are ready for prime time. The chief of police has actually stated that they don't think they are. But it's a bigger question, I think, here at play that people aren't talking about. Most technology, most advancements usually come with some type of cost. There's going to be some growing pains. Right now, we're seeing some of them where the accidents are occurring with autonomous vehicles, even in emergency situations, as well as causing major traffic jams. Some of these things may be minor annoyances, but some of these things may be, cause of speculation and maybe be something potentially more dangerous than not just having a person there. By having a person there would be much safer, even if they are drunk, because they are human and able to think more logically than in a machine. But at this point in time, is it worth having these autonomous vehicles there in order for them to be able to the information and the research so they can improve on their technology for it to be able to encounter these scenarios, fix it for these driving vehicles to be able to be road ready in prime time across the United States? Comment down below what you think, and if you agree with the expansion of these autonomous vehicles or you disagree with these expansion of these autonomous autonomous vehicles. Do you think that it's road ready, or do you think they should wait? Or do you think that it's worth the growth and to push for an innovation for the vehicles to be out there, even with the mistakes they're making right now? That being said, your boy Dex9